I watched Citizen Kane in cinema recently. Dude, aren't classic movies good when you don't have a Gen Z in your ear telling you that it needs more like Subway Surfers? If you watch North by Northwest, look, I'm not even like an old head when it comes to movies or whatever, but you watch a classic movie and it's like, wait, hold on a second, they were cooking with this one. I don't even need color to enjoy this. Yes, I watched Casablanca and it was amazing. Yeah, no, genuinely, yeah. Sorry, Casablanca is the one without color. North by Northwest has color. Yeah, it's mixed up in my head. But yeah, no, genuinely, they're very good. Citizen Kane is great, actually. Yeah, genuinely. I only saw it once when I was a kid. Yeah. People had talent and style in the olden days. It's not that movies were better back then. Most movies back then were dog shit. Movies on average today are probably better. It's just that those ones survive the test of time. Like, you're not just watching a movie from the 40s. If you watch Casablanca, you're watching the movie from the 40s. You're watching like the one that was so good that it survived all the way up to now, like 80 years afterwards, you know? So pre-selection bias. I mean, yeah, ideally you would want to exhibit selection bias when choosing the movies to watch. Otherwise, you're kind of just using RNG, right? You're just like, what movie will I watch today? And then you go on Letterboxd and like roll the dice. I don't know. The Thing is still a banger film. Did you get reminded of it by the Mandalore gaming video on the movie or the video game adaptation of The Thing? Yeah, The Thing's peak. Yeah, for sure. You know, I've never seen The Shining. No, I know. I'm not like against watching it. I've just never seen it. Though at this point, I've seen so many parodies of it. Yeah, like I've seen the Simpsons adaptation of it multiple times. So like, is there anything left for me in the movie? Yeah, it's too ubiquitous in culture. Like, you've seen The Shining, whether or not you've seen The Shining, you know? Okay, can I posit a movie that actually is overrated? I think the original Planet of the Apes isn't that good. Yes, I've seen the original multiple times. I genuinely just don't think it's that good. I don't think it's bad. I just think that it's like overrated. Like, I feel like it kind of popped because of the twist ending. I just don't think it's that good. The remakes are so good, much better than the original. It's kind of true, isn't it? Well, remember the No from the first one? They actually did a good job with that, didn't they? They actually built up to that. That was really good. That was like a level of restraint that you wouldn't, and the follow-up to it with the monkeys that were pretending to be stupid so they could get the guns from the humans and then just murked them right there. There were some really good bits in those movies. I skipped in The Matrix for so long because of pop culture references, felt like I'd already seen the movie. I get that. I did recently watch The Matrix with some friends of mine who hadn't seen it, and they were like, wait, hold on, it's actually really good. And I'm like, yeah, it actually is really good. It's a really good movie. Me with Sopranos. I'm starting The Sopranos right now. Actually, my partner. That's how I felt about Star Wars, then watch the first couple and feel the same amount. Okay, yeah, I don't think Star Wars is... okay, I'll say it. I think Star Wars has been ruined. I think that it goes beyond like reference and pop culture adaptation. I think that if you sat a person down now and told them to watch the original trilogy, even without all the George Lucas, like all the remastering or whatever, and you just sat them down to watch it, at this point, like, Star Wars is so monoculture that it's basically impossible to enjoy it in its own right. Like, like you can only dissect something so much before you kill the thing that you're dissecting, I guess. I'm not saying the original trilogy is bad. I'm just saying that I don't think, like, I think that you can sit a person down and show them the original Back to the Future trilogy. Well, I guess there hasn't been as much like remaking of that. I think you can show them, like, I don't know, The Matrix, even though The Matrix has been like done and redone and referenced and so on so many times, and it's still like really good and interesting. I don't know how much you can do that with the original Star Wars at this point, but I might be biased. I might be biased. I don't know. I'm just so sick of the franchise. I'm so over it. You know what else is nice about Matrix? The Matrix is actually, and this is true, that was the last time a movie was legally allowed to have a properly calibrated black point. Did you know that? In every movie since The Matrix, the darkest you can get on screen at any point is like a dull gray. But in The Matrix, you can actually get scenes that have full tonal contrast, you know? Or not tonal contrast, full light contrast, you know? Huh, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's true. What about The Hateful Eight? The Hateful Eight doesn't count. They shot that on film. I don't actually know if they shot The Matrix digitally. Not actually sure. Matrix is film? Oh, okay. Well, it is still nice looking back at The Matrix and remembering... Dude, You mean allowed seriously, or because like movies hate using black? Modern movies rarely have properly calibrated black points because everything is CGI slop, and they shoot digitally. And the reason you shoot digitally is because you can fine tune the light settings after the fact. When you shoot on film, you're kind of like locked in on the contrast settings that you have for the original shoot because it's literally burnt into the celluloid crystals or whatever on the, you know, on the tape. But if you're doing it digitally, you have all this light data that you can play with digitally and like alter and mix it around. And the benefit of that is you can make changes later. But the downside is that the managers and the executives and the producers in the process, all the like middlemen or people up at the top, they're usually too indecisive to commit to a really, really distinct like color grading. So what you get are movies that look like, I don't know, Captain America, Civil War, or whatever where it's like everything's just gray, you know, just gray. Yeah, there's not enough value contrast. Value contrast is not color contrast. Dude, you know what movie had amazing contrast work? The original Terminator. Has anyone seen the original Terminator recently? Not to hate on T2 or whatever, but the original Terminator will literally just have like rim lighting on Arnold Schwarzenegger's face and his eye, the red dot, and that's it. Like the whole scene will be that. It's really good. I think they had a lot of that in T2 as well, but definitely not as much. T2 was probably shot digitally. I don't know if it was or wasn't, but it definitely, they weren't as bold with the contrast. T2 was film. Okay, I'm totally off, but still, they weren't as bold with the value decisions. We used to be a real country. It just looks so good. Look, this is just a regular ass shot from the film. It's like they just don't make shit look like this anymore. There's like a tactility and weight to the balancing that is just not present. And I think a lot of it is just really yeah, there's a lot of personality. It's just very aggressive lighting. Like they're willing to like have the main actor's face be partially I guess he's not the main actor in the film. Well, he kind of is. You know, partially in shadow and then partially like they don't do this in modern movies. They will not let a character's face have like massive contrast differences. You know what I mean? Like if you take a look at like any modern like this. Do you see what I mean? You can have parts of it that are in shadow, but they will never have a part of it like lit up with a sheen, if that makes sense. But in real life, people look like this all the time. Like that's a poster. I guess that's a poster. Yeah. Like here, Iron Man 1 movie still. Just give me like an example here. This is how people look in modern films for the most part. They're lit in a really flat way because they want you to see every like atom of the face of the actor. You know what I mean? They rarely, you know what I mean? Not to say that they can't be in shadow sometimes, but even in darker scenes, like look at this. This is at nighttime. And it's like, well, I guess it's not nighttime. It's like inside a dark shop. But you get what I mean? They very deliberately light every scene so that you always have like a pretty neutral range cast on the actors' faces. You rarely see stuff like this, which is just a shame because I think you get a lot of even a shot like this. Okay, genuine question. When was the last time you saw a like main actor basically in a movie have this much obscuring their face during a shot that primarily focuses on them? Even just shades with shadows being cast down from the shades. It's not that common. Normally the shades will have like underlighting so you don't have this like harsh shadow. It's not that common. Kill Bill had it. Okay, but that's Kill Bill. that's making my point for me. Like counterexample, you know, Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, well, there's a reason Quentin Tarantino is special. You can't bring up Tarantino. He's a film guy. Tarantino, if you got Tarantino on stream right now, he'd be agreeing with everything that I say. He would be like, yeah, the modern movies are terrified of shooting people in realistic life. He's the guy. He's the one who shoots everything on film. Also, how about that cropped motorcycle jacket with the high-waisted pants, huh? Yeah, just throwing all my interests in there. I'm not even much of like a film guy, you know? It looks so good, man. What the and Terminator 1 wasn't even like a crazy high production blockbuster film. Terminator 1 was just like, I mean, I'm not saying it was indie or anything, but you know, he's so me. This is literally me. I'm shooting downrange at a target range. I'm not doing anything untoward here, just to make it clear. The budget for T1 was $6 million. I bet they spent half of that on all the black ink they use, the paint in the shadows. That's why you don't see in modern high budget films, you don't see all the black points properly calibrated, because they don't have the budget to slather everything in like black paint, you know? Yeah, I've seen Hot Fuzz. Can't even cover yourself in black paint anymore because of woke. Yeah, it's pretty f***ed up. That's how they got this classic shot from the cover. They had to do like a line of black paint right here, but you can't do that anymore. The shot from the original Godzilla will always haunt me. I mean, it's one of the benefits of having physical models and like actors with costumes rather than lighting everything via CG, you know? You actually can do some really interesting stuff with light. You can do so much with models, man. Like what's the Nostradamus in, is the Nostradamus in the original Alien? Am I misremembering the name? Nostromo. The Nostromo. Yeah. I've seen this model in person. They have it at Mopop at Seattle. It's like really small. I mean, compared to how it looks. You look at this and it's like, hold on. The Nostromo looks like some 40K shit, kind of, actually. It's called the Nostromo and it looks like a cathedral. Anyone else getting that vibe? It's true. The Nostromo is actually the small ship. I saw the refinery. I remember seeing the refinery in the model. Orson Welles dressed so well. You know, it's crazy, but this is just like this is just how normal people dress back then. It was like normal to look really good, which is why if you look at like photo of crowd 1950s, everyone there is more attractive than us now. Like basically not even an exaggeration. Not true? It's kind of true. Not everyone, like every super poor coal miner or whatever, but like, yeah, if you were even a little bit well-to-do, we had class back then. Actually, we had tailors and local garment manufacturing and department stores with talented service staff that provided like help when it comes to styling your outfit. Has nothing to do with class. There were lots of classless people who wore really good suits back then. Bro, imagine having a middle class. I can't imagine it. It's not even possible for me to imagine it. We mostly just remember how like the wealthy people looked. It's not even true. Working class people also had suits. These were like working class people. Edwardian men working class. Yeah, like even everyone dressed like this going out, more or less. So even like poor people had like a suit they would put on. But yeah, even if you go and look back at photos of like the Bronx in the 1920s or 1930s, they still dress better than we do today. I'm sorry, it's just true. I'm not doing a return with a V thing or anything. It's just an objective truth that like even if you look at poor bureaus back then, they still like dressed pretty well to do. Though again, the suit styling is different from what we wear today. You know, obviously it's been like 110 years for a lot of these guys. So yeah, they didn't have video games. They had nothing to do but dress themselves. That's true. That's why birth rates were so high. No video games. All they could do was remember this shot from the Alien movie? Unironically, okay, I don't care that Trump won. Get me anyone who can make movies look like this again. I'm not kidding. It's such a simple shot. Like, let me look at industrial, like the industrial inner workings of a ship and have it look like this, and I don't care. Listen, Mussolini made the cinematic value grading in film run on time, okay? Yeah. Modern color grade. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've literally looked at this shot on stream before, and every time it fills me with like my blood pressure starts rising looking at it. It cost $100 billion to do this shot. It just looks more saturated. No. This is like a fan recoloring because they're desperately trying to fix a fundamentally broken original product. Like this is what it originally looked like, and this is somebody trying to make it look more interesting, but you can't do it. I mean, maybe it looks a tiny bit better, but like you can't do it because the base product is broken. Meanwhile, good directors. Okay, but again, okay. But don't you think it kind of proves the point that you have to bring up the Blade Runner sequel as a counter-argument? It's like, okay, well, no, not all films look like that. Here's like the most celebrated art film that released that year that still gets like massive accolades for the incredible color choice. Like, yeah, no, I completely agree. I'm just saying, like, definitely, and the exception proves the rule kind of deal. Because Blade Runner 2077 is like a big, hyper expensive art film. Was it 2077? No, that's Cyberpunk 2077. Sorry, 2049. It's like a big, super expensive art film, whereas like Terminator 1 was like a little project, you know? That's all I mean. It's just like, it's crazy. Like now, what's the meme? Grandpa, why don't we make movies look like that anymore with the high contrast and value differences? Sorry, son, we don't know how. But like literally, the only way we can recreate that vibe is with $100 million. Movie still from 1982 Blade Runner. I'm gonna chew my own arm off, is what I'm going to do. What the Remember when life was good? Was life ever good? Well, women used to wear shoulder pads, so yes. Yeah, King Jar Jerk, but modern day digital cameras are capable of reproducing this. They are. I've seen it done. It's possible to do it. They just don't because they're cowards. That, like, it's true. They can do it. You could do this in digital. You would just have to light the scene properly. Look at this tactile shit. Yeah, it's illegal. It's illegal to have films look like real life anymore. Now you can no longer have someone blow like candy smoke in your face. Now you have, it's like a CGI. It costs $500,000 and the work was outsourced to Toronto and Vancouver, who then subcontracted it to a place in India, who spent 6 months and went 3 times over budget doing it, and it looks like shit. This is also in part because LCD displays have terrible contrast, so to preserve detail, they crush the contrast. Well, I don't know how much of that is being done to preserve the integrity of the home market, like, given how they tend to audio grade things. Like, modern LCDs do a decent job with contrast. Maybe I'm biased because I have an OLED TV, which does have, like, very dark blacks. You know, whatever. Audio grade, audio balancing. OLED's very different. Yeah, but OLED should be the standard. OLED is the only upgrade that we've made to TVs in 15 years. All that other bullshit was complete waste of time. 3D TVs or like 8K TV. Like, hey, what if we displayed shit at a resolution where nothing matters? Like, it doesn't matter. You can't see it. It's like it'd be like buying a 288 hertz monitor. What are you doing with that? AI smoothing, yeah, like all that. OLED's the only actual upgrade. Smell-o-vision is coming, you just wait, hater. Yeah, I suppose. OLED's also very expensive still. Yeah, but like it's going down in price. You know, it's TVs, generally speaking. Even an OLED TV today is cheaper than a comparably sized TV that's LED would have been like 15 years ago, right? Like the price of TVs has gone down so much. 8K is good. You can't see 8K. You can't see it. If somebody did a test for you where they showed you like 8K, 4K, and 2K and cycled between them and asked you to tell which one was which or like when they switched over, you wouldn't be able to. It's not possible. The director of Wicked said he kept the colors desaturated because he wanted to feel more real. What? It's the Wizard of Oz. This shit, like, I'm not saying it should be illegal. I'm just saying, I don't know what I'm saying. Why is it so Why is the yellow on the mast and sail of this fantasy sailboat? Like, what type of ochre? What type of yellow is this? This is like super desaturated. Why? Real life isn't washed out like this. There's lots of colors outside. You know what? This is what happens when your directors are shooting in Los Angeles. They're like, what does real life look like? And they look outside and they look at the infinite concrete expanse around them. And they're like, okay, yeah, real life is dull, desaturated, and miserable. Even this looks, it's like fake, watered down Technicolor. Is this AI? This is like AI or something. That's great. The original was Technicolor? Yeah, it's because we believed in things back then. Mostly we believed in like eugenics and white supremacy, but they were things to believe in, I guess. Listen, okay? This era may have produced the greatest war and human massacre in all of history, but it also produced 3-strip Technicolor. I don't even like The Wizard of Oz as a movie that much. I'm just more kind of riffing on the color grading, I suppose. Wasn't the snow made of asbestos and they all got cancer? That's probably fake. I don't know if it's fake or not. People love to make up like seedy details about old shit. Is it true? It's true? Okay, that's true. People do like to make that. You'll see like AI TikToks or whatever of people being like, you know, did you know that the girl who played Alice in Alice in Wonderland was beaten near to death every day? And so they say, okay, all right, yeah, sure. It's probably true. I don't know. It was the 30s or the 20s? Probably the 30s. I don't remember. I don't care.